Hello everyone, this is Akata Vesta. I am your galactic astrologer. Thank you for joining me. I apologize today, my voice is still so weak. I'm still recovering from an illness, but I have this download during my time of recovering and reposing, and I really like to share it with you today. Just a few days ago, I have done a meditation, my first ever meditation with the goddess Aphrodite. And right after that, I fall ill myself. And I think that was the effect of detoxing. Some karmic karma within me. And I have some understanding, which I think is quite interesting to share it with you. I hope you stay with me, and I will also connect it through two aspects: Divine Feminine by Goddess Aphrodite, aka Venus, as we know her in today's name, and Chiron, the wounded healer, to represent sacred masculine, and how through these two energies, two polarities, that give us deeper understanding of our karmic past and how to heal it through the power of love. And please stay with me. And so, first of all, Aphrodite. As we know, she is a goddess, represents sensuality, sex, beauty, and also fertility. She brings gift of love. But the legends goes that with her own myth, her story, it reflects something other than the glamorous goddess. She could be born as a result of Cronus, which is Saturn, when he slayed his father Uranus, and threw his genital to the ocean. And through that, she was born. And that's how we have also this painting by Sandro Botticelli of the Venus inside Shell. And but then again, Homer, according to him, she could be the daughter of Zeus, Jupiter. And regardless of her origin, whose daughter she was, the thing that with her extraordinary beauty, her father, Zeus, married her to Hephaestus. Sorry if I pronounced it correctly. Hephaestus, which today we know as Vulcan. And he was a master in metal, a master builder. The fact is, he was ugly and he was deformed. Where's the logic? Maybe that he wouldn't be jealous. I have no idea. And so she was married off to him. And her story goes that later on, she has her love relationship with Aries, which is Mars. And that's how it comes to in our astrological term. Mars and Venus, they are considered as divine counterparts. And that is also part of the alignment that we look at when we look at soul relationship chart between two persons. And so with Aries, she has one of the most famous son amongst all her children. We have Eros, as how we know Eros. And later on, the Roman changed it to the name Cupid, with this chubby angel baby with her arrows of love. And it goes that she was also, as a goddess, she was also in love with a few mortals. One of the most famous story may be Adonis, who was extremely handsome, but he was killed by a bull during a hunting game. And because of his beauty, when he died, his blood became the field flowers that we call anemone, as a flowers that only last a few days, regardless of its extreme beauty. So if we look at her as a goddess, and she was married off without her own will to someone that she would never love, there was no importance. And of her various lovers, that the search of love as a goddess, with her own tragedy and sometimes beauty itself, of her extraordinary beauty, is related to one of the most famous war we have known in the Greek history, mythology, the Trojan War. When Aries, another goddess, she wasn't invited for banquet, I think held by the king of Troy, while all the Olympian gods and goddesses were there. And she went to the banquet nonetheless. And she threw out a golden apple with the phrase, "to the fairest." With that, we have her, Aphrodite, Athena, and Aries, all competing to be the fairest. And at the end, it was the son of Troy, the son of the king of Troy, Paris, who was asked to decide between the three of them who was the fairest. Aphrodite, with her extraordinary beauty, she promised him if she wins, she would give him the most beautiful woman on earth, who was Helena, the Troy. And the rest is history. And so through her history, in that search of beauty, of love, of at the end, they may have so much power. do they really have the sovereignty to stand, to decide for their own path? And that is the divine feminine in us today. I mean, I say in us, that in all of us, we have that part of divine feminine, the part of masculine. How do we heal ourselves with all this injustice in the lessons of love that we have gone through in many other lifetimes? And we still carry this message, this memory in us in so many lifetimes of being a victim or being forced into a situation that we would never agree with. And that brings us to the legend of Chiron. Chiron is so famous as a wounded healer. His own personal history, story, is even more tragic than Aphrodite. Zeus, as Jupiter, we all know that he has many offspring. And Chiron was one of them. The legend goes that one day when Zeus was walk about, and he find this extremely beautiful nymph. Her name is Philidra. And of course, as Zeus the god, he wants to possess her, which the nymph thought the otherwise. So she was trying to escape from the claw of Zeus. As a nymph, she could change form. And at one point, I think she changed to an antelope to run fast. But Zeus was changing to a horse. And when he caught up with her, what happened. And when this nymph gave birth, Chiron, she was so struck by the monstrosity of his body. Not only because he was born as a centaurus, he wasn't even a normal centaurus. The centaurus, as we know, looking at the sign, the zodiac sign Sagittarius, which was with the whole body as a horse and the upper body as human, so they can run fast and they are potent and physically even very attractive. But Chiron, he was not. Chiron, he has his whole human body as a human, and only at the back with half the horse. So he has this body that he could never run as fast as a horse, and when he moved, that body actually gave him more burden than a normal human body. So regarding that, his mother rejected him, decided not to want him. And as an abandoned child, carrying his hurt in him. But he was a good scholar, a good teacher. Many of his students We know Hercules, we know Achilles, we know Jackson, all these Olympian gods were his students. And he was so good in teaching, in astrology, in healing, and during, I think, one of the battle, Hercules threw his arrow, which was with poison, wrongly hit him, his feet. And so Chiron, as the son of Zeus, he was immortal. Could he have healed himself? I think so. But I think he rejected, and the legends also explain that he renounced to heal himself, to remind himself of being humble, of humility. And at some point, the pain of was so great that he exchanged his life for Prometheus. And so now we see even the sacred masculine, they also carry hurt, pain, sorrow, abandonment in them. The meditation I did a few days ago was helping us to finally letting go of all these ancient emotions that to some extent we have little said we couldn't be the master of ourselves. And in astrological terms, it is important, this moment. Why? On the 19th, Chiron will conjunct with the North Node in Aries. I go back a little bit. Last year, January, the nodal axis moved into the North Node, moved into Aries, and the South Node moved into Libra. What does that mean, general term? Aries is the first house in the zodiac wheel. It represents I am. Who am I? What do I stand for? What is my self-identity? With the North Node moving in there, is helping us, guiding us to find our true identity, our authentic self, since last year in July, 14th of July, I think. While the South Node entered Libra, Libra is the 7th house. The 7th house represents our one-to-one relationship. In most cases, represent the persons that we married with. And the South Node represent what were the paths that we deal with our loved one in our one-to-one relationship didn't serve us any longer. The we in us Was it the kind of situation we believed we have to be in it by social practices, pressure, or finding, understanding this old way just don't serve us any longer? Should we spend our time in a relationship that is enhancing, finding the I am in us so that we can build up the we are in the two of us? So the fact that on the 19th, Chiron and the North Node are going to be conjunct, that is one of the lifetime opportunities. The last time Chiron and North Node conjunct in Aries, it was 50 years ago. Many of us may not be able to pass another time, may not have the same opportunity. Chiron, the North Node may conjunct Chiron in some other zodiac sign, but not in Aries, not in a place where you are asking to find your authentic self by healing the deepest in you. I would like to share a personal experience with you through last year. And it was more or less happened when the North Node and South Node axis moved into Aries and Libra. Sorry. As many of you knows that I am a double Libra, which means with both my ascendant and my sun sign, both of them in Libra. And ever since this nodal XX going into Libra, I have been feeling, I have been going through so much. One of those experiences was meeting might not be the right term, but knowing a person which I had karmic past. He came out of nowhere, approached me. The funny thing was, I was always alert, on guard during our communication. Until one day, I saw the reason that in one of our past lives, I was a little girl in India, 13, 14 years old, dressed beautifully in red with lots of gold ornament. So I was married off to this man and that life. But he wasn't a good husband. Abuses, violence. And at the end, I ran away. So, from his perspective, he was searching for me. And I was the one run away, regardless of what he had done, right? The thing is, I blocked this person very soon after. No more communication, nothing. But it didn't change the fact that every now and then, I do feel a kind of energy around me. I try to explain with my human mind, which, yes, could be a reason, but really doesn't justify it. Until the night of the new moon in Aquarius. I think that was the 9th of February. I saw another scene. That, as a woman again, I was crying desperately because of his early death. The injustice of losing him. This pain of her was so vivid, still in me. So, from my personal experience, my personal understanding is not so much that I need to re-establish my connection with this person, but this scene liberates me from all karmic past I have with this person. I finally understand why it was, and I can let go. More importantly, when we think of our karmic past, we all have many past with many people that we come into contact. We make connections with our soul family tribe. In the last 6 months in America, I met so many of them. And many of them, I know exactly where we met and what they represent for me. But the fact is, what we should learn is not how so much of this person, what he or she had done, what he or she is doing, or what our karmic past represent, because we could have thousands of different relationships with one person, as a friend, as a lovers, as neighbors, as workers, as colleagues, and everything, as monks, as nuns together in the church. It is today, here and now, how this person and me, how both of us honored this opportunity when we are given an opportunity to meet this person, the next person, how we honored the person that I am and the person that he or she is. And with this particular person, there's nothing that I could change my way change my discernment. There's nothing. The end. That's it. This is boundaries. This is sovereignty. Know what we expect in our relationships, in love, in friendships, in family, at work, and we stand by it. I would like to share that share with you. I apologize again, my voice, and I hope next time I will be better. I will leave the link below of the meditation. Thank you. Oh, sorry. For those of you that would like to know the technical, more information regarding Aphrodite, Venus, and Chiron, I will put in my website more explanation. Thank you from my heart to yours. See you next time.